All things Mavs.
Hey Mavs fans, we're going to get into our trade mailbag here in just a minute, but I wanted to take a second to really thank you guys for helping me get this channel to 8,000 subscribers. Go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back, hit that clap emoji, put it in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much. The next milestone is 9,000, but because that guy named Rajon Rondo wore 9 on the Mavs, let's just make it 10,000. Let's just jump straight from 8 to 10. Let's just skip over 9. What do you guys say? But if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do so that you can get on our next All Things Mavs mailbag. Just like Aboda Kanawati. I think I got your name right. I sure hope I did. I might have just butchered it, but I'm just going to call you OK. Is that all right? We'll do that. He says, what do you think about a trade for Gordon Hayward? Mavs give up Dwight Powell, DeLon Wright, that's Willie Cauley-Stein, Justin Jackson, and their 2020 first rounder, which of course will fall at number 18. This is interesting because this is a guy that a lot of people have not talked about for the Dallas Mavericks. And in all reality, I don't hate the idea of the Mavs taking a swing on Gordon Hayward. He's on an expiring contract. He would come off the books in 2021. He does have a player option, which we don't know for sure that he's going to pick up, but odds are he'll pick it up, assuming because he only played in 52 games in 2019. Remember, he had that gruesome leg injury that kept him out when Boston was looking to really go for it all with he and Kyrie Irving, but it kept him out. However, he returned, and when he played, he looked really strong when he was healthy. He still put up 18 points per game, 7 rebounds, and shot better than 38% from 3. No, it's not Utah Jazz Gordon Hayward, but this is still a Gordon Hayward that could step in and be the Mavs' third best player when fully healthy. In fact, this trade would give the Mavs a fifth starter that they don't currently have. Luka Doncic and Tim Hardaway Jr., that's still your backcourt. And if you don't have to give up THJ to get a Gordon Hayward, I don't hate this idea. You put Gordon Hayward immediately at the 3 with KP at the 5, and I know you guys hate Dorian Finney-Smith as a power forward because I get it. He's not. He's a hybrid forward, but he can play the power forward position with KP alongside him. I don't mind this deal. Now, I wouldn't like to give up Dwight Powell and Willie Cauley-Stein, but I think the Celtics would want a big man in return. I don't care about DeLon Wright. You can ship him off. I know Justin Jackson's involved in the deal. Whatever. Everyone's ready to get rid of Justin Jackson anyway. I lean yes for the Mavs, but I'm still hesitant because then that's 2 guys in your starting 5 in KP and Hayward that are injury prone. But would you do it? Would you trade for Gordon Hayward for a 1-year rental deal? Type Y for yes, type N for no. For the right price, I would type my Y for yes. Now let's go to Cruzanity. I know you're a loyal watcher here on All Things Mavs. I appreciate you putting in the question asking, would Dallas trade DeLon, Justin Jackson, and Seth Curry to the Lakers for Danny Green, Kyle Kuzma, and Quinn Cook? Cruzanity, you need to change your name to Insanity because absolutely not. And I'll break it down more why here in a minute. But you look at the 3 guys that the Mavs would give up in this offer. Seth, DeLon, Justin Jackson. Justin Jackson, DeLon Wright, both those guys are on the trade block, okay? The Mavs will trade them for just about anything if it gives them a little bit more cap relief. I'm just going to be honest. I still have a little faith in DeLon Wright. I'm kind of fully off of Justin Jackson Island, but Seth Curry is a special player for this team. And I'll talk about him more here in a minute, but let's look at the Laker guys that the Mavs would be trading for. Kyle Kuzma, Danny Green, and Quinn Cook was so bad that the Lakers left him in the bubble. I don't want him on this Maverick team. We had him once before. We let him walk away. So all of a sudden, you trade Seth Curry, you trade DeLon Wright, you trade Justin Jackson. Now, you have to start Danny Green because you're paying him $15 million a year. Kyle Kuzma's coming off your bench, and Quinn Cook's coming off your bench as well, probably taking minutes away from Jalen Brunson and Trey Burke. No, thank you. I don't want to start Danny Green. We already tried for him in the summer. He already said no, and then he played terrible with the Lakers. Now he's got a ring on his finger. Good for him. He's still not a good player. I don't want him on the Mavs. Now, I'll talk more about this trade here in a minute, but something I do want to remind you about is this awesome deal going on at Fanatics right now. Chatsports.com/Mavs mask. Go pick yours up today. You got to wear one every single day, and I wear mine from Fanatics every day, and you can throw it in the wash. That's the greatest part about it. These are those masks that they're machine washable, so they don't stink. They don't dirty up your face. You can wear them every single day. One more time, that's chatsports.com/Mavs masks. Masks from 1, 2, 3, or packs of 4 going for up to 30% off for a limited time only. Now let's talk about the one main reason I don't do this trade if I'm the Mavs. It's because you have to give up Seth Curry. And Seth Curry was awesome for the Mavs this year. Now, beginning half of the year, he got a little slow coming into it. He came in as a starter, and then the Mavs moved him to a bench role where he really, really excelled and shot better than 45% from three. Now, you compare him to Danny Green, and you can see who the better player is. Seth Curry's averaging more points per game. Rebounds per game are similar for a guy that's actually smaller than Danny Green, averaging more assists per game, more efficient from the field as a whole, and way more efficient from beyond the three-point arc. The Lakers are paying Danny Green basically $15 million a year. The Mavs are paying Seth Curry $7 million a year. Now, Seth Curry's not as good of a defender, but everything else, he does better than Danny Green. And Danny Green not coming to the Mavs this past offseason was a blessing in disguise. The Mavs have had a lot of guys that they've missed out on that ended up being those blessings in disguise. So what I want you to do right now is scroll on down to the comment section and name one player that at the time you were like, yeah, I really want him on the Mavs. But now you're like, man, I'm happy we did not get him. I'll give you a couple reminders. Think Danny Green this past offseason. Think Hassan Whiteside a couple seasons ago. Think about when Chandler Parsons left. Think about when we almost gave Nerlens Noel $70 million. There's a lot of good names that the Mavs missed out on for a very good reason. So name yours down below. Let's go to AV. The last question of the day says, I really want to know your opinion about this move. Dallas receives Jrue Holiday and Darius Miller. The Pelicans get Tim, Dwight Powell, Justin Jackson, and our first-round pick and 2 second-round picks. Man, everybody's just ready to trade Justin Jackson, and I don't blame them. He's been involved in every trade discussion today because, let's face it, he's young, and his salary actually fits a lot of these trades. But I've talked about Jrue Holiday on this show before, and that's mainly why I wanted to bring this question back up, is because this guy would be the perfect fit in Dallas. He answers questions for you defensively as arguably the best defensive guard in the league behind maybe Marcus Smart or on the same level as Marcus Smart. He can play point guard or he can play the 2-guard position alongside Luka Doncic. My only question mark with Jrue Holiday is, well, I guess I have 2. Number 1, what in the world do the Pelicans want for Jrue Holiday? What is his going rate? I have no idea. And number 2, are the Mavs okay with giving up future assets to get a 30-year-old guard? I'm not sure. But I would be more than okay with it. In fact, I'd be ecstatic if the Mavs could get a guy that scores 19 points per game and shoots better than 35% from 3 and defends positions 1 through 3 on the floor. He fills in that gap. You can move Tim Hardaway Jr. to the 3. You can put Seth Curry on the bench permanently as a 6-man. Jalen Brunson, Seth Curry could come off the bench together behind Luka Doncic and Jrue Holiday. And Jrue Holiday could also help run your second unit. Now, AV, I appreciate your trade idea. I just don't think it gets it done. So this was my trade idea. I think this gets us a little bit closer because I think you have to include Jalen Brunson in this trade. I think he's got to be one of the guys that you throw in there. The Pelicans aren't super high on Frank Jackson. I think Jalen Brunson would be an improvement over him. And so you have Brunson, and then you got to throw in Powell because they don't have a true center besides Jackson Hayes, and so he can play some more. And then 2 draft picks that are both coming out this year. I know a lot of you guys were like, wait, Jimmy, they can't trade a first-round pick. Yes, they can. They can trade it on draft night or after draft night this year. So that's my Jrue Holiday idea. I think he is a somewhat realistic target, but not super realistic. So what I want you to do, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, first of all, thank you so much. Second of all, give me one realistic trade target for the Mavs this offseason, and maybe, just maybe, I'll do a video on how they can actually acquire them on my next video here on All Things Mavs.